a paid speaker, or are you just getting started? Are you currently a paid speaker or just getting started? So here's what you can do. If you're a current speaker, just put current speaker. If you're just getting started, just put start now or just getting started. Sorry, those are long things to put in there. All right. Okay, so this is what we will be talking about today. We are getting up and running. If you're new, I want to introduce myself as you all are coming in and introducing yourselves and letting us know what it is that you do. I am Ashley Nicole Kirkwood. I'm a lawyer. A lot of you all know me as the person who owns Mobile General Counsel. 100% true. I own a law firm. I'm also a speaker. I'm a professional speaker. So I have a speaking business. And we're going to talk a little bit today about what's the difference between being a speaker and having a speaking business. I have a speaking business, meaning I get paid to speak. A lot of you who are joining are also interested in getting paid to speak. Hi, how are you? Hey, Tanya. Are interested in being paid to speak. That's why you're here. So I'm so excited to have you. Hopefully you all are going to make this interactive. That way it's really helpful to you. I see a lot of my friends on here, which is cool, or people that I've known for a while, which is really cool. If you all could do me a favor, if you have been paid to speak before, right? Let me know. Let me know if you've been paid to speak before. If you have been paid to speak and you've gotten over $5,000 before, just put yes in the comments. If you have not been paid to speak and gotten over $5,000 before, just put no in the comments so that I know kind of who I'm speaking with and who's joining us live today, which is really, really good. What we're talking about today and kind of why we're talking about it is because I have been doing something recently called Speak Your Way to Cash. I've been doing this workshop, or I've done this workshop where I teach people how to get paid to speak. And what I'm realizing is a lot of people are they're not necessarily getting paid to speak, but they're interested in being paid to speak. And what they're doing is they're speaking for free. And a lot of people are speaking for free because they do not know the difference between being a speaker and running a speaking business. So we're going to talk specifically today about 3 things needed to prepare yourself to speak your way to cash. Hey, Ebony, happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining. And this is going to be interactive and informational because I want you guys to know that there is a whole world out there where people are getting paid consistently to speak. I am one of them, but it didn't start until I began to see myself not just as a speaker, but as someone who actually runs a speaking business, which is a totally different thing. So we're going to talk about that today. What do you need to do? The first thing you need to do, this is number one. If you're ready for number 1, just put 1 in the comments. If you're ready for number 1, just put 1 in the comments. The first thing you need to do, and Ebony, who's joining, attended Speak Your Way to Cash, but the first thing you need to do is determine whether you want to be a speaker or whether you want to run a speaking business, okay? Whether you want to run a speaking business, because how many of you know those are totally different things? And they can be the same thing too. I'm both, right? But a lot of people, hello, thank you so much for joining. A lot of people don't know the difference, right? They're like, no, I like to speak every now and then. I tell people that I speak, and so I'm hoping to get paid for it. But that is not how it works, guys. That's not how it works. So most of the time, and it does happen sometimes, and in my Speak Your Way to Cash event in Chicago, we talked about ways in which you can actually start to get paid, get inbound leads, and get paid to actually speak without actually doing what I do now, which is like pitching people all the time. So we talk about that. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Sorry, I get cold, but I'm about to get excited. I'm gonna be honest with you all. For the most part, people who get paid to speak are those that see themselves as running a speaking business, okay? So you have to let me know now, because what I'm about to share today, what I'm about to tell you guys is going to be relevant to those who don't just want to be speakers, but who want to be paid speakers consistently and run a speaking business. So let me know right now if you're ready to just be a speaker. Do you want to just speak every now and then? Most of the time you don't get paid. Every now and then somebody blesses you with a chicken dinner and some some stuff? Or do you want to run a speaking business? If you want to run a speaking business, just put speaking business in the comments. Speaking business in the comments. I want to see where my business people are at, because we're talking about running a speaking business. We're talking about running a speaking business. Now, here's the thing. When you are interested, so this is point one. How do you go from being a speaker to running a speaking business, And why is this important? When you make the shift from I'm a speaker, I speak every now and then, to wanting to run a speaking business, that's when you start to see your sales come in. Why is that? Because when you are running a business, business people are interested in running speaking businesses. They're interested in seeing how many people they need to talk to every week in order to get paid leads. They're interested in seeing how many gigs they did last year, how many speaking engagements they did last year, and what that looked like for their bottom line. They're interested in the numbers of it all. And the reason they're interested in the numbers, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Most people think that it's very glamorous to be a speaker, and that's why they want to do it. And I was one of those people. When I first started speaking, I was a speaker. I didn't run a speaking business. I would get paid every now and then, and it was cool. I was kind of interested in getting more money, but when I looked at how I wanted my life to look, right? What I want to do with my life, what I want my day to day to look like. Here's what I wanted to do. When I see my life, and I've dreamed with my husband when we go on vacation, this is what we think about. We think about how many months out of the year do we want to work? 6 to 9, maybe, right? We want to be on vacation 3 months out the year. We want to travel around, and we want that travel paid for. We want to impact many different nations with the words that we say, and we want to develop speaking products like speeches and things that we can provide to people that will dramatically change their lives. So that's how I wanted my life to look. And I wanted to go places, and it was set up for me. I didn't want to like be the speaker. Like, you come in at the conference, you don't really know what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to go. They're like, yeah, eventually. No, I didn't want any of that. I wanted to be a top paid speaker. That was how I wanted my life to look. And so in order to get that life, I started researching people that had it. And all of the people that I look up to, so all of my speaking mentors, they're all 7-figure mentors, because I've already hit 6. So I'm like, I need 7-figure mentors at this point. So all of those people ran speaking businesses, and they started explaining to me, okay, the reason you're not getting paid to speak is because you're not running a speaking business. You're posting on Facebook every now and then saying that you speak, and that's cute, but people don't know how to pay you. They don't know what they need to do in order to get in your system for being a client. You don't know how many people you need to talk to in order to make your money. So because of all that, I was like, I'm a speaker. I speak. I got a little one sheet. I'm gonna hope this all works out. And the reality is it doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work out. So here's the thing I'm gonna tell you up front. If you're not ready to run a speaking business, you won't be a consistently well-paid speaker. Period. Because you won't put the systems in place in order for you to get there. That's just facts. Sorry to give you that news, but that's just facts. So for those of you that are ready to run a speaking business, just put number 2 in the comments, and I'm gonna give you the second thing you need to do to start getting booked and paid to speak. Booked and paid to speak. Booked and paid to speak. This is what we're talking about today. How to speak your way to cash. How to speak your way to cash. So if you're ready for number 2, just put 2 in the comments, and we're gonna talk through the second thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do in order to get paid speaking engagements consistently, right? Consistently. All right. Talk back to me, y'all. 2 in the comments, because we're about to give you this information. Here's number 2. If you want to be a consistently paid speaker, and number 1 for those of you who just joined was you have to determine that you don't just want to be a speaker. You want to be the CEO of a speaking business. You want to actually run a speaking business. That's a big difference. Okay, so number 2, when you run a business, what do you need? Products or services, right? That's what you need. You need products or services, because people don't come to a business without something to buy, right? And when you're a speaker, what they're buying is your speaking workshops. They're either buying your speaking workshops, meaning they're buying the workshops that you present, they're buying your keynote presentations, or they're buying your consulting services, or they're buying your products. So let's break that down. They're buying your workshops. They could be buying your keynotes. They could be buying your consulting services, or they could be buying your products. Another reason why a lot of people aren't being booked and paid consistently to speak is because they don't see their speaking services as services that people can buy, and they're not packaging it in a way that people can buy it. Imagine this. You walk into McDonald's, you're hungry, right? They don't even have a menu. It's your first time there. You walk into McDonald's, they don't have that nice menu that gives you all the different options that you can go through. They have nothing for you up there. They're like, what do you want? You're like, I don't know. I mean, what do you sell? They're like, we sell a lot of different things. Matter of fact, we sell 5,000 different things. We sell things to everybody who eat anything. Whatever you want, we can provide. How would you feel as the consumer? You're like, I don't even know what to buy. Can you give me a menu? Can you give me a roadmap? Can you suggest something? I mean, hello. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this information. I'm overwhelmed. Okay. If you are at that point, you're probably going to walk out and go to Burger King because they have their menus together. They have all their stuff together. All of their verbiage is together. When you walk in, somebody's suggesting things you can buy. Better yet, they're asking you, well, what do you like? Do you eat meat or are you a vegetarian? And after that, you ask, okay, well, you're a vegetarian. Well, then I won't suggest any burgers to you. We have these 2 salads. They're both very good, highly rated. I think this will be perfect for you. Then you're like, okay, good. Take my money. Take my money. You just made it so easy for me to give you the money. The second thing you need to do in order to get paid to speak consistently is you need to develop what it is that you're selling and package it in a way that your consumer can buy it. Now, here's the plug. You got to know who your consumer is. Okay. I speak primarily to colleges. I also speak to corporations, but I offer them completely different packages. Like the college folks don't even see the corporation's presentations. The corporation client, my corporate clients don't see what I offer to colleges. So if you're out there as a speaker, you have to figure out, okay, what do I need to develop? What do I need to develop in order to get these people hooked, line, and sinkered and paying me money? Okay. The other thing, you can't, let me go in order here. Let me go in order here. That's number 2. Is this making sense? Do you all have questions about this so far? It's a lot to run a speaking business and start a speaking business. If you are joining on Instagram, I will actually put a link that you all should go to in order to get on my list. I'll post it right after this video. If you're interested in more information on this, just shoot me a DM if you're on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, there's a link you can go to sign up for the Speak Your Way to Cash email list. We'll be launching the Facebook group this week, so stay tuned. But I need you all to get into this because if you're in Chicago, we can help you build your business on June 29th, I believe it is, the last Saturday in June. But we're going to get to that at the end. If y'all stick with me to the end, I'm telling you it's going to bless you. So number 2, what are the products and services that you're selling? What are the products and services that you're selling? If you don't have products, that's fine. That's fine. Some speaking coaches will say you have to have a book. You have to have a book. You have to have a consulting package. You have to have all these different things. I believe you have to start. You have to start. Once you get started and once you start speaking to people on a regular basis, your potential clients, you'll learn what they need in the market. You'll learn what you can develop to offer them, but you need to start talking to people that can pay you to speak. The other thing, the third thing you need to do. So if you're ready for number 3, put 3 in the comments. If you're ready for number 3, put 3 in the comments. Yes, Lee, you're like, this is good. We understand. Okay, awesome. So if you're ready for 3, put 3 in the comments. So number 1, as a recap, for those of you who are just joining, you have to determine you want to run a speaking business and not just be a speaker. Number 2, you have to figure out what you're going to sell, what speeches you're going to sell, and how you're going to package it for your ideal customer. Number 3, you need a customer retention plan. Okay. This is not rocket science, but I cannot tell you how many speakers I have spoken to and I've asked them, well, how do you get clients? What's your plan for bringing in clients every day? What is your plan for getting what you do in front of ideal clients every single day? And they're like, I don't know. I just post on Facebook that I want to speak. No. That ain't going to work. Here's why it's not going to work. Facebook is for your friends and maybe your ideal customers that buy one-to-one services with you overwhelmingly. LinkedIn is where a lot of corporations sit. So maybe if you get the right decision makers on your LinkedIn, you could post about you being a speaker and they'll organically reach out to you. But let me tell you the truth. The 99.9% of my speaking engagements come from me affirmatively reaching out to people who I know could utilize the services that I provide, the speaking packages that I offer to schools and corporations. I know that they can use it, and I reach out to them every single day. In the past 7 days, I'm gonna give y'all some back end information, and I would post the picture if I had it. I'm going to give you guys some back end information. I have spoken to 501 ideal clients. 501 in the past 7 days via email. I did an initial email to 501 potential college clients in the past 7 days. So you wonder how some people are booked. I don't know what other people do. I get it in with mine. And I know, and this is the crazy part, okay? 501. Let me show you all how I think about this so you all can see why you should come to Speak Your Way to Cash in Chicago, because I'm about to help y'all make a whole lot of money. 501, right? That means I've pitched $3.7 million of speaking business. Follow me on this, right? Follow me on this. That means if all of those colleges would have responded to that email and paid me my $7,500 rate, which is my lower rate for colleges, but colleges, we'll talk about, I can't give you all everything because it's hard to go through everything without giving you all foundational stuff. But basically, colleges don't typically, that's at the higher end of a college, right? So I may pitch my standard rate for a college, $7,500. We may work it down to $5 or maybe sometimes $4 or whatever, depending on where it is and travel and all of that. But I've pitched $3.7 million in business, right? No way all of them are going to answer the emails. I know for a fact, because I use a client relationship management tool, 46% of them open my email, right? So let's divide that by 2. Okay, $1.87 million, like $1.8 million. That's how many people open the email. About $1.8 million of people opened and read the email, right? They didn't all respond, right? So who responded? About 15% of those individuals responded. 15% of those individuals responded, right? So what did we say? We said we pitched 501, okay? This week now. This is this week. That doesn't mean that's not for the month, right? So every month I'm pitching thousands of people. And we're going to talk about, at the event, we talk about how you can do that without like never being available. But if you're thinking about this in terms of numbers and you're pitching millions of dollars of business a week and only 15% of them respond, then, I mean, that's what you have to work with. So that means about $75,000 is the amount of people who've actually like responded and been interested, or they told me no. So 15% actually responded, right? That's $75,000, right? That's how many people responded. Of that people that responded, only half of those people, so only about 7% will get on the phone with me to talk to me about what I provide. And I know when I get these folks on the phone, it's going down. It's going down. Because when you get a college on the phone, you got to think, you're not just getting them on the phone to sell them one thing, one time, one day. Colleges work in semesters. A lot of them also have a variety of different programs. So when you get a college on the phone, your goal when you get that college on the phone is to figure out every single thing you can about that person. How long have they been with the school? How many events do you all have every year? Okay, great. Who have you typically worked with? I saw that you brought in this speaker last year. They're pretty good. We have a bit of a different style. How did that go for your students? What was the response from this? You're getting everything. And at the end of all this information, hey, Auntie, you're able to see, then after you get all that info from them, it is only after I get everything I need from them to give them the perfect pitch do I even tell them anything about myself. Because I've already sent an email with a link to my speaker sheets. They know that, links to my website. They know that. I don't even start talking to them until I know who I'm talking to. Why? Because when I talk to them, if they say, yeah, we have this program for first-gen students, and I'm like, oh, awesome. I personally have a speaker on my team that does first-generation engagements. That's my husband, Chris Kirkwood. He's first generation. I told you all I did a call today. I think I'm on 3. So 1, 2, you need to figure out your products and services. 3, you need a client relationship tool. So we're on 3. 3 is the juicy part anyway. So hopefully you all are still with me. If this is good, just give me some hearts. Share it out. Don't be stingy with this knowledge, okay? But when you develop your client relationship, your client retention process or plan, your sales process, essentially, you need to figure out what it is you're going to do every single day to get your message in front of ideal customers. And then when you get them on the phone, because your goal is to get them on the phone. Your goal is to make it so easy for them to respond to your email to get them on the phone. Now, how do you get them to respond to your email? My response rate is actually higher than the industry average for cold emailing. because I have a 3-step automated email process that I send out to every single process. So if they don't respond in 2 days, this happens. If they don't respond in 3 days, this happens. And my final email to them is no more than 1 sentence. Y'all know this is a lot of information. At the Speak Your Way to Cash event, we go through, we have email templates, we have everything you all need to actually get started doing this. So you all need to make sure you sign up. I only have 15 spots and I had 10 people. I had 10 spots the first time. That sold out. Everyone came out and they actually ended up, a lot of those speakers, Ebony's on here now, so they want to come back. So I don't know how we're going to do this because we have space restraints at the venue. I guess I could get a bigger venue. But if you all are interested, y'all need to click this link on Facebook and sign up. And you can reserve your seat for $25 down. But I want to get back to this client thing. When you get them on the phone, you need a sales script, period, point blank. Period, point blank. So now you're like, well, how do you know all this? Like, how do you know how to do this? Blah, blah, blah. One, I took classes from $1 million speakers because I'm trying to be $1 million speaker. Easy. Two, I did sales before law school. So I understand the sales process and the psyche of sales. The reason why a lot of people fail at sales is because they make the offer without doing the fact finding. Any good salesperson will tell you, you don't start talking about no offer without figuring out when you're on a sales call what they need. Because then once they say what they need and everything, it's like, oh, you mentioned earlier that you're looking to do these 3 things with your students. I, in fact, have a workshop that's perfect for that. It's one of my most popular workshops. It's called blah, blah, blah. Now, and I ask them, I also do this. I'm gonna be real with y'all. On my sales call with my sales script that the people who attend Speak Your Way to Cash will be getting, I ask them about budget. And I do it in a way that's not off-putting because I get them talking about all their needs, their previous speaking engagements, things like that. And then I say, hey, what's your typical budget to bring in speakers? Does it vary per event or do you have a set budget that you like to work within for your speakers? Let me know a little bit about that just so I can make sure that I can present a package that works best for you and your school and your students. And then they start talking numbers. My call today, I told you I was doing a call today. It went phenomenal. We ended up getting booked to do 3 different engagements. They're just figuring out and sometimes schools can pool resources. Like they can have various different departments fund your actual rate. So you want to make sure that when you're talking numbers and you're talking money, you have a set rate that you're going to throw out there that you won't be mad at if they accept on the spot. I always like that rate to be a little bit higher than whatever they're comfortable with. I mean, a lot higher than whatever they're comfortable with. Because the woman today was like, yeah, normally we do something and we give them $500. And I was like, yeah, I'll be honest with you. My rates start at $7,500. I'd like to hear more about how we can make this work. Not I'm about to give it to you for no what am I doing with $500? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When you're speaking all over the country, you're traveling all over the country. So if you go and travel somewhere, even if they pay for your travel for $500, you're exhausted. You're exhausted. And then for me, I run a law firm. So that means I have to be gone, traveling. I can't reach my clients. Like it has to make financial sense. So when you're figuring out this client development strategy, you need a couple different things. You need a way to get clients in your sales process. And then you need a clear plan as to what you're going to do with those clients when they get in. What's your first email, your second email, your third email? What's your go point? Meaning, what's the point that you're not talking to them anymore? You're taking them off your sales process. What do you say when you get on the phone? I write out the exact script. I have a sample script that the people who attend my Chicago event will get. And then I have, and then I research the school for the individual that I'm speaking with. And then I set up I set up sample questions based on the school to show them that I've done the research. When you're asking someone to pay you $7,500 for an hour of your time or to travel somewhere, you really need to know. You need to know everything about them. Like you need to know what makes them tick, what they're doing. I have some college clients that are like, oh yeah, reach out to me in this month because I'm about to go on maternity leave. She's getting a gift, period. Like you have to figure out what is your sales process going to look like. For me, my sales revenue goals are $200,000 this year. That's my revenue goals for this year. Now, what happens after you have a $200,000 year is you raise your rates because you're too booked and blessed to be going everywhere for any amount of money. So your rates become less flexible. The more busy you are, the more booked you are and then this is another good thing too to think about with colleges. It is a crap ton of work on the front end to get this all up and going. It's a lot of work to get your list together, to figure out where you're going to speak for free, where you're not going to speak for free. I go to some conferences. I'll speak at those conferences for free because decision makers are there. A good one is NOTA. But for the most part, what we're talking about now is all paid, right? Like I don't go to colleges for free. It doesn't really make sense to. Now, if you have a product, like we talked about in step 2, I have a book. There's a college that's offered to buy hundreds of copies of my book, right? I print my book for $4, right? So if I get a college to say, you know, we can't pay your full rate, however, we're going to buy 200 copies of your book at the list price, that's $26.95. That's $5,390. I print the book for $4 each. So my profit margin on that is phenomenal. So it's no big deal. I know I can get them printed, so you can do that. So you want to think about it. You want to create options for your client. So if they come back, and I like to get the money from them before I talk money. A lot of them won't do that. If they're savvy and they book all the time, they'll be like, well, what's your rate? We'll see if we can work with that. But you want to develop so much value in the conversation before you even get to the numbers part. That numbers are just like, it's just a part of the conversation. So you got to figure the sales piece of it out. Here's the real deal. The best and highest paid speakers aren't the best speakers. They're speakers who can sell their speeches the best and create a great client experience. So I have an onboarding experience for them, which I developed after taking Errol Moody's class. I think he's phenomenal. I mean, I've taken several speakers workshops. His was by far the best in terms of an online complete system that you can get virtually. It was by far the best. I love everything about him. He's dope. Y'all should follow him. And if you need a resource, I listen to Grant Baldwin, the Speakers Podcast. So here's the thing. If any of this was new to you, if any of this was helpful, just put yes in the comments. If this helped you in any way, put yes in the comments. Let me know if this was helpful information. Even though it's a free workshop, I literally tried to give you all as much as I can in this amount of time that we have together. If it was helpful, put yes in the comments. Here's what I need you all to know. This was like not even 1% of what I do to develop a speaking business and to be consistently booked to speak and to get like sales calls that actually result in engagement. There's a whole follow-up process. There's like 3 steps for my email process. There's 2 to 3 steps for my phone process. The first call is not where you make the sale. And so there is a ramp up time and period. But after you get your 50 engagements booked, I've never been booked once. So I've never had a college that I've gone to and they're like, oh, you were good, but I won't see you next year. Like maybe you're not. No. Mm-mm. No, like you're going, if you show up and speak well, we didn't even talk about the actual speaking. If you show up and speak well and deliver on what you promise, you're booked. You're going to get booked again. You may even get booked twice in 1 year. The person that I spoke with, she looked at me for 3 different summits they're having, tried to book my husband for a particular summit, and we have a follow-up call next week to talk budget numbers, and I put soft holds on the dates. So what confuses people most about all of this is, where do you find paid speaking engagements? How can you tell between if a conference is paid or if it's not? What unpaid engagements are good to do? How to flip an unpaid engagement into a paid engagement? Where do you get these lists of the ideal clients? All of those questions I answer in Speak Your Way to Cash. It's an in-person speakers intensive. It's all day 10 to 5. And we help you step by step building your business. The first one I did with Jay Slaughter, she's a branding specialist. She talked about getting clarity on your brand and your process. She's phenomenal. This time we're going to I think Jay is available, so I'm looking to have Jay back. We're going to have another branding specialist back. She's going to be talking about how your materials need to look, what type of emotions are evoked in those materials. But what I'm going to talk about is how to get to that cash, okay? Because that's what I like to do. My husband, he works in nonprofit world. That's great. I like getting money. So I like money and impact. That's why I call my parent company Passion, Purpose, and Paychecks. I think you can have all 3. So if you want to come to that event, here's the thing. It's 11 of you all watching now. We had 60 people interested in this event, so I know the replay is going to go, and I'm going to email it out to my list. I have 15 slots. It's only 15 because I need to make sure I'm in y'all's ear during this workshop, okay? Ebony, who's on, can tell you it is a dope event. And like, we are going back and forth. I'm figuring out what all of your speaking topics are. I'm telling you how to package it, how to write the right names, what names have worked best for me. I give you all the 3 email systems that I send out. You can literally leave and you know what your first 30 days as an unpaid speaker looks like to convert you into a paid speaker. You get all of that at Speak Your Way to Cash. And check this out. It's not a cheap workshop because I don't do anything cheap, but it's extremely reasonable. The workshops I've attended have all been worth thousands of dollars. This one is worth far more than that. And I say that because You can come to this workshop. It's a $299 workshop. That's how much the workshop costs. It's in person. You get lunch. You get all of your materials. Very reasonable. You can secure your spot for $25 down and pay on it until June 29th. So right now, we haven't even hit May yet. So if you put your money down this week, you would be able to get you'd be able to pay for your event at a reasonable rate. A lot of people the first time did a payment plan. It's something you can do this time, but I need you to go on and sign up for the Speak Your Way to Cash email list. These are the people that I'm going to send this out to. Here's why. When I go to these events and when I speak at these big things that I speak at, typically it's not a lot of us. It's not a lot of us. And it's not because we're not qualified or engaging speakers or powerful or impactful speakers. It's because we don't have a speaking business. We just like to speak. But this is not the reason you can't be going everywhere, doing everything for free, speaking to whoever and their mama wants you to speak for free is because you have a family to provide for and your time is very, 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 very valuable. And I always give out like dope freebies, right? Like last time they got a couple of different TEDx talks they can apply to. Hopefully they've applied to them for the month of May. So it's so worth it. It's so worth it. We're together all day. We get it in. And a big part of my workshop, which I have not seen in any other speaker's workshop, is an actual press plan. I teach you how to get yourself in the press. I do that because my first paid speaking engagement ever, not ever, but the first paid speaking engagement that paid me 4 figures, so in the thousands of dollars to speak, came from LinkedIn because they saw me in Crane Chicago Business. So a lot of what people do, because there's so many speakers out there, they Google your name, they want to see what's up with you. If they Google my name, they'll see like the JM television show, Crane Chicago Business, all these different press articles. I was in the Chicago Tribune this week. I just learned that for the TEDx talk. So they'll see all of this stuff and it helps them to feel more comfortable with my rate. You all need a press plan. You need a press plan. So that'll be a part of the 30-day action plan you'll receive at Speak Your Way to Cash. So you're going to get more than your money's worth and you can reserve your seat for $25 down. It is in Chicago. I'm thinking of doing one in Atlanta. It'll be in August. So we're still working that out and I'm seeing kind of who my affiliates will be in Atlanta, who I'm going to work with to get that done out there so that it's impactful for you guys there. But I wanted to do another one in Chicago. I thought the first one went really well. The reviews are awesome. If you want to see the reviews, just head to my website under events, click on Attend Speak Your Way to Cash. But y'all need to click this link on my Facebook page. I'm going to put it in the comments too. And sign up so that we can, 1, tailor this presentation directly to you. 2, it's going to sell out. 3, I don't know when it'll sell out. I'm sure it'll sell out soon. I just know it will because the first one was so dope that people wanted to come back. And we actually made it a speakers intensive so that when people come back, they won't be like, oh, this was the exact same. So for those of you who came to the first one and loved it and were like, well, I want to come back for a part 2, this is it. Okay. It is a speakers intensive. It is only, but do not come if you ain't gonna do no work. Don't be making my process look bad because you lazy. Don't come for that. Oh, yay. Okay, good. You're signed up. Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's going to be dope, guys, because here's the thing. Let me answer this question for me. This is how I want to see who's on. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. We're family here. If I gave you if I gave you the tools, the 30-day action guide for what you need to do to be booked and paid to speak, we're talking booking $3,500 to $10,000 speaking engagements, would you do it? If I gave you the 30-day action guide, if I told you what it took, would you do it? Put yes in the comments if you would do it. Put yes in the comments if you would do it. Be honest. Be honest. If I gave you the tools, if I gave you what you needed to be a booked speaker, to speak your way to cash, if I gave you what you needed to speak your way to cash, would you do it? Would you do it? I want to know. I want to know. Put yes in the comments if you're down, if you're ready to get to work, okay, and be paid what you're worth for sharing your story. Yes, you're like, of course. Okay, good. Yes, Tanya. So here's the thing. That's what we do at this workshop. This isn't one of those like, I don't know. It's not like anything that you've probably experienced before. This is an experience for speakers who just need a roadmap, who are like, look, I'm sick of this. You paying me to go to these conferences. You don't pay me. And to be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't make my money for conferences. I I don't make my money off conferences often. Now, there are some things called associations where you make a great living speaking at. But if you all see me speak at local conferences and things like that, sometimes I'll go there and I'll speak and I'll be promoting something that I sell. And those things can happen, and that's fine. But if you want to, the reason some people aren't paid to speak, can I let y'all in on a secret? Is because they have the wrong clients. Like, their clients aren't, the people they're trying to sell to can't buy. You need more than the right product. You need the right audience, right? Like, I need more. I can't be selling products that it's people want it, but they can't afford it. You need product market fit. Like, this is something that people talk about in the tech world all the time. You need a fit. There has to be a fit between like what you're trying to sell, what people are able to buy, what they can actually afford. If you're speaking to people with large budgets, they can afford it. And so if they're not buying it after you're presenting it, that means you're not presenting what they want to buy, because you want to talk to people. You don't want to talk to people who you have to convince to pay speakers. That's not who you want to talk to. You want to talk to people who are used to paying speakers, who understand the value in paying speakers. And thus they just are looking for the right speaker. Let me make, 'cause I have 2 other calls today with potential clients. Okay, I'm good on time. But yeah, so let's do this. What questions do you all have for me? What questions do you all have for me? Hopefully you've signed up for the email list so you can get in, put your $25 down and pay whatever you need to pay. The good thing about my payment plan processor, so it's a $299 event. You got to put $25 down. You have 8 weeks to pay on it. So that could be $35 a week, right? So it's around $35 a week if you pay for the next 8 weeks, meaning you start your plan now. So that's so worth it. Like, what? Okay. And I have the payment plan processor that I have because that plan allows you to pay weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. So however you get in, how you live, whatever your pay dates are, work that out. And if you go to the website, you'll be able to see like the link to pay, but I'm going to email everyone who signs up so that they can get in early, register early. Friday is the real deal launch day. That's the day we're about to get everybody signed up and sell this out. Yes, what's a good CRM tool for speaking business? Awesome question. And we're going to talk about CRMs at the event. I love HubSpot. I love HubSpot so much because I pitch so much. So what HubSpot allows me to do is it allows me not only to see when people read my emails, but I can also see when they view my speaker sheet. So then I know when I'm talking to them that they viewed the sheet. So they probably know that I'm a lawyer. They know that I have these different engagements. They're somewhat interested. And if someone views my sheet and they book a call with me, I know they're very interested. And sometimes what I ask on my calls is something like, hey, thank you so much for hopping on the call with me. Did you have a chance to look at any of my materials? Did anything look good to you, or do you want me to go over it? I ask them that question in that way because you never want to make someone you're selling feel bad. And if you ask them, have you reviewed my materials? It puts them in a position where they have to say no. Whenever you're selling, this is just sales strategy. The objective is to get them in a position where they're always saying yes. So I start my call getting them to say yes. Hey, and I got this sales line is from Errol Moody's True Speaking Success Workshop. He's $1 million speaker. He's amazing. But the first line that I open up with now after taking his class is, hey, all we have to do today is figure out whether it makes sense for us to keep talking and see whether my programs can fit your needs. Does that sound good? They're like, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Okay, great. Then we go right into it. And it's not me talking. Thank you so much for talking to me. As you know, I'm a speaker. No. None of that. Don't say none of that. We go right into figuring out what they need. So you want to, and we talk a lot. We're talking a lot about sales strategy at Speak Your Way to Cash. We're actually going to do a live role play. We're going to let you all challenge me on some things so you can kind of see how I handle certain challenges and when you can gauge whether you need to walk away, so you want to make that clear. Another thing, I don't do cold calling because I'm too busy for that. However, I do cold emailing and I try to schedule a call. The reason I schedule a call is because when you have a scheduled time to speak with someone, it's just far better for them. It's better for you. It's better than if you're like just trying to call them all of a sudden. And then that's the date on which I'm speaking to client A. I'm going to prepare to speak to client A. We're going to show you guys how you should set up your back end as well. You want to have an actual folder for each and every client that you're pitching so that maybe they don't book you this year. You can go back and talk to them next year and say to that person, hey, when I spoke to so-and-so, they were saying that this was a huge issue Is that still a problem for you? We spoke back in June of 2015. You'll have the name of who you spoke with. So you all will get some of this stuff. You'll get some of this stuff at Speak Your Way to Cash Chicago, because it's just so much information. Yes, come on. Look at that, hotels and places to stay. It'll be downtown. So I'll actually give you the address, 332 South Michigan. So if you stay anywhere, you can shoot me. If you're definitely coming, just shoot me information and I'll help you if you want to learn to choose a hotel and stuff. You can actually look on Trivago.com. So I book a lot of hotels. That's where I look. And I like Expedia too. But if you want to do your flight and hotel together, sometimes Expedia gives you a better rate. I should actually put speaking engagements on the or travel arrangements on the event page. So that's a good reminder, because we will have some people flying in. But y'all, this is going to be dope. It's going to be dope. I can't wait. Like, I'm super excited about this. We're going to role play. We're going to figure out what you need for your brand. I'll give you the resources. Jay did a great job of giving people resources for where she gets her graphics done for a relatively reasonable rate. I will have there something that because you'll do a lot. Sometimes you'll do exhibitor events and tabling events. I'll have some of my products there and cards that I give out. I'll show you guys all of my stuff. I'll share everything. It won't be like you come and I won't answer certain questions. I'll share all of that. And then I'll be launching an actual private speaking coaching program at that event. Okay, so that's good. If you want a one-on-one with me now, you can't wait. You can book it at theashleynicoleshow.com. Just book a Pick Your Brain session, but we'll have our full program ready to launch at that event. But this intensive is going to be so good, and you all need to sign up. Sign up for that email list, even if you can't come to the event, because when I launch the Facebook group, you all will be ready for that. So we're going to hold each other accountable in that group. Get ready, get ready, get ready. We're going to do some pre-work to make sure you all are ready to go. Some things I think you all should start considering now. Some podcasts I want you all to start listening to now. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. So you can come to Speak Your Way to Cash. This is a premier event, downtown Chicago. We have lunch, we have materials. It's an off the chain event. If you know me, you know that I don't do janky stuff. Tanya's been some of my personal parties, so she knows they're very nice. So this event will be very, very nice, very well done. It's our second one. I love every single lady that came to the first one. It is co-ed. It is for men and women. And we have 15 spots. I may be able to get more spots opened up, but we'll see. Do you all have any other questions? I thought that was a really good question. Any other questions? Any questions that I can answer for you about speaking, about the event, about working with me for this? I'm so excited. Because if you know me, you know that my dream has always been to be a full-time speaker. I have a law firm, which is great. My law firm is doing really well. But and I want to have this, I have a speaking business that is amped up. Like when I say dramatically this year, it amped up dramatically. And you all may not know this, but you can't build a law firm while you're at a law firm. So when I left my 6-figure job to be a full-time entrepreneur, I was a speaker. That's how I made my money those first 6 months before my law firm ramped up, because it was a 6-month ramp up period for the firm. So, hey, that's what it is. But I made my money from speaking, selling my books. Shout out to Taisha Beasley, who talked about getting my book published. She helped me with that. But yeah, so this is something that I have been doing for a while, but I formalized this year, and it's been life-changing. And for me today, I was able to book my husband. And that's the other thing, if I know what you all do, we're going to have an agency relationship too. So like some engagements I can't do. By the end of this year, I won't be able to take as many engagements. I know I won't, because I'm booking now for next year and even 2020. So that means I will have opportunities that come to me that I can't take. People in my Speak Your Way to Cash community will be the individuals that I think are first of mind when they say they need someone who's first generation, or they need a woman to speak about sexual assault and overcoming rape culture, or they need someone to talk about these different topics. I will have a community of people that I'll go to, and you all can speak under my company and get paid for it. And that'll be great. So we have a lot of awesome things working up at the company, the speaking company that I run. And I'm so excited about it. I am just through the moon. So I can't wait to help all of you become booked and paid to speak, give you all the formula, give you guys the platform, give you guys the room to grow. We are going to talk about this. It's going to be super dope. So sign up if you have not already. If you're catching the replay, put replay in the comments. And then I'm going to take this replay down probably in probably 24 hours or so. And I'm going to send it out through my email list. So if you're not on the email list, then you need to get on it. And if you sign up through this link, I'll get you on it. get you onboarded, and we'll make sure that you have everything you need to speak your way to cash. Thank you guys for joining. See you soon. Thanks, guys.